Hey, it's Camo with the Nashville Access Facebook show presented by Solace North Gulch Apartments, where taste matters. Doing kind of the international thing today. Our guest on the show is originally from Tasmania in Australia. That's a little island that everyone forgets about. And now lives in Glasgow, Scotland. She's been in town for CMA Festival and performing all over Nashville. And welcome to the show, Zoe. Come on.
Hi.
You're going to sit there. Okay. Hey, oh, we're doing
Do the hug thing, come on.
Right.
We're hugging
Sit
in Australia.
There's a word that rhymes with huggers, but we will for that.
We won't great there. It's short.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. It's nice to be here.
Welcome to Nashville as well. You've been here, what, just over a week, I guess?
Yeah, it's getting close to a week and a half, 2 weeks now.
Yeah.
It's been the greatest time.
You have been on a busy schedule. You've been performing all over the place. Fill us in on some of the places you've been performing since you got
Well, since we got here, it's kind of like the first show I did was the Bluebird Cafe, and that was the greatest place to play ever. It's just something I wanted to do for so long, and getting to play a place like that was really incredible.
Yeah.
And then from there, you know, there's been a few different places downtown. From Big Machine Distillery, they invited me down to go and do a show with the band. And then as far as actual shows are the reason why I came, I was invited to go and play the CMA Festival, which was just crazy.
You were on the spotlight stage, and it was something unique because I've never seen it. Usually you get a crowd of people that will come and sit and watch. But I was there, and people were coming by and stopping because they were taken in by your show.
It was pretty cool. I did not expect it to go the way that it did. And people they would come up to me at the end. There was a meet and greet we had for about half an hour at the end. And by the time we'd finished the show and we walked out to go and do the meet and greet, there was just people lined up out the back for autographs and for photos and for merchandise. And I was just like, wow, this is crazy. You guys, this is the first time you've really heard me. And the reaction was just extraordinary.
But I saw the line for signings and merch, and there was somebody there from Scotland.
Turned out they had actually seen us in Scotland. They were the only ones that had seen us live.
Wow.
And the rest, like there was a lady from Sydney, there was a guy from Canada, there was a couple from Texas as well, I think. But they're just nicest people. They're just so encouraging here. I really love it.
Now, you bring to the table kind of a unique story. As I said, it's no point in me telling you, you're from Tasmania.
Born in Tassie, kind of lived everywhere, but like growing up as a kid, the family have always been super like on the road. We've always loved being on the road. When I was younger, the family and I built a big RV, and we just went traveling right around Australia for a few years.
Built?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was kind of like it became our home on the road. It had a whole bunch of crazy things in it. It had a jacuzzi in it. It was pretty cool. And so life on the road was kind of like always the way for me. And I've written a lot of songs based around that kind of, I don't know, that freedom, I guess. Growing up on the road it's been the best education I could ever ask for.
Really? And so you moved to Glasgow.
Yeah.
3 years ago, right?
Uh-huh.
What precipitated that?
Well, it's kind of a long story. So what happened was...
We have time.
I hope so. I'll summarize as best I can. But we went as a family to the US for a trip. And I'd kind of mucked around and written a demo album. And I just mucked around, kind of like, didn't really think anything more of it than it just being something to do, you know. And I've always loved music, and you know, I started writing lyrics, which were poems when I was young. Picked up the guitar one day, and it kind of became songs. And so I decided, like, maybe I could write something. Let's see what I could do. So out came this demo album, and I thought, well, this is kind of cool. So we ended up going to the US as a trip, and I went and played here in Nashville for the first time ever in front of anybody out of Bobby's Idol Hour. And that was like the greatest little place. It's got money all up the walls, and the floors are sticky, and it's just like...
Now it's history.
And now it's history. I was so sad to hear that. Because that was just such a great little place. And so that was where I first played, and I walked out with the ukulele, and I'm like, holy crap, this is like, what? You know? And the crowd was just great in there. They just didn't want me to get off. And I was like, wow, I came off, and I'm just buzzing, and I thought, this is cool. And so we got back to Australia after all that, and I did a few other little things like that around town. And while I was here, And I got back to Australia, and Mum and Dad were like, you know what, you're good at this. If this is something you really want to do, you should do it. And I said, you reckon? I said, yeah. Well, if you want to do it, you know, you've got to make a choice. What do you want to do? So I said, yeah, that's what I want. Nothing else suits me. I've never fit a 9-to-5 job and that kind of lifestyle. I've never had a mindset that suited that. I've always grown up on the road, kind of doing my own thing. And so that they said to me, look, we're going to support you in whatever it is you want to do. And so literally they said, what's the plan? Let's do it. And I said, well, we should go to the UK. We should do something different. We should go somewhere else. Because we'd never been to the UK before. But all our family originated from there. And so it was kind of like, I guess, a crazy leap of faith to see whether it would work. And if it didn't, then, you know, we'd get an adventure out of it. But music there has kind of taken off. It's been 3 years since we got there, and there's been so much progression from that, from not knowing anybody when we got there to now having people, you know, sell out shows in Glasgow and winning awards and, you know, festival tour, and like it's just so much stuff that's happened in 3 years. I just can't even summarize it all. It's a book in itself.
Yeah, because talking to you, it's like you've had this really long career, and it's 3 years.
3 years probably, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. But your music kind of defies genre. And we've talked about this before, you and I, where it's, some of the stuff has a country-ish feel to it, some of it has an Americana-ish feel to it, but it's really just Zoee music.
I'm really touched that you say that. It's actually the toughest question, because I have people ask me all the time, you know, what do you sound like when you go to, you know, anywhere, and they say, oh, what do you do? I'm a musician. Who do you sound like? I can never answer it. It's just the toughest question, and it is hard to put in a genre. It's really tricky. And it's kind of, it does cross over. Like last year, I was fortunate enough to get to write a film soundtrack. And that was for a film out in Scotland. And it went, the song was released before the film, but it went out to go on top the charts over in the UK. And which is incredible. And then it went and won a whole bunch of different awards and, you know, airplay and all sorts of crazy things. But that song itself is totally different from what I play live. What I play live is kind of like, you know, it's a rocky kind of Americana kind of feel. The song for the soundtrack was very cinematic and very, you know, kind of like, it was almost haunting in a lot of ways. I had a lot of people say.
When I first heard it, the tone of your voice reminded me of Adele.
Oh, wow.
It's just, I think, much richer, and I like it better than Adele, which is no slang on Adele.
My gosh! I'll never.
But that's what, for me, it's reminiscent of, and that to me puts you in the category of those kinds of artists, Ed Sheeran and Adele, where you can, you know, like Ed Sheeran can do an EDM album, and you can turn around and do opera with Andrea Bocelli. And,
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And he writes country songs that Tim and Faith have cut.
And how incredible is that?
Yeah.
You know?
So I think that's a good place for you. And the way the music business is, you've got listeners that are, you know, fans always want to put you in a box and define what kind of music. And labels always want to put you in a box and define the music. Let them define it. You go and do
what we gotta do.
Do Zoee music.
I like it. And you're right. It's kind of like, I think that's where the creativity comes out. Because I'm writing I write rap, I write country, I write rock. I've done blues stuff, folky stuff. You know, just straight bare, stripped acoustic kind of intimate stuff. I've got a couple of songs that I've got in mind actually to record and release shortly that are going to have a very kind of like heavy metal kind of sound as well, which is really cool. So it's just, I mean, I love diversifying. Growing up as a kid, I listened to so much stuff, and that was thanks to Mum and Dad. They kind of like had just boxes and collections of records and vinyls, and I'd go and steal their cassettes and their tapes, and I'd go and just listen to stuff. And I guess because of that, I've kind of got a pretty broad ear. I don't know. It's cool. It's cool.
You want to do a song, and then we'll come back and chat?
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right, let's do one. And then you can introduce the band with you as well. Come on with me.
Okay.
You're watching the Nashville Access Facebook show with Camo and my special guest Zoee. Hit it.
This one's called Growing Up.
back here.
Oh,
Lose
sure.
the guitar and we'll talk again.
Thank you.
Come with us.
Back on the talking couch. I like this.
Yeah,
This is great. Music and talking.
Yeah, something like that. The songs you write are very much you and your life.
You could say that.
Tell us about that.
It's kind of like, I think getting to do what I've done, and especially with the family thing where they've come out and they've kind of like been there with me the whole way through. It's kind of this incredible experience and this incredible journey around the world, kind of like living life and just doing the craziest things, you know. There's been so many highs and so many lows in getting to be where I am now and doing what we're doing, and getting to have the band the way that it is, where I've got my brother on the drums with me. That was Zed over there on the cajon. He's actually younger than me, but he's about 4 foot taller than me, and it's kind of. And then it's Dad up there on the guitar with me, and so it's kind of like, my mum helps with the managing, and my little brother's helping with the bookings and all that kind of stuff. So it's a full family thing in that sense, and it's so incredible to be able to take that with you where you go. And for me, I'm a family person, and so a lot of the songs for me come from the elements of being able to live on the road and kind of do that lifestyle with people that you really love, and experience so many great things and so many not so great things together.
But it all turns up into your music.
It all turns up into the music, and kind of like, I love inspiring people as well. And I don't know if, I've had some fantastic things come back from people. They've said that this song, Town, or this time in particular, I had a lady write me and she said that song helped me get past losing my husband, and it was just, I was like, wow, it's incredible to think that sort of music can do that. And it's done it for everybody in a certain way. There's always one song that, you always affiliate with. And to have that when someone tells you it's your song, that kind of like, it kind of touches your heart and you go, wow, this is worth doing it, But I just love writing. I'm constantly writing. I've got about 3 or 4 albums in the catalogue ready to go out, and I've just not put nothing out yet. Just trying
because as an indie artist, it's expensive to try to get into to get a good producer, to get studio time, and do that kind of stuff.
There is that stuff, which is kind of tricky. But I love the independence and of being an independent artist. Is great because you can kind of you can make the choices of what you want to do. You don't always get it right because you're kind of working it out as you go, but it's a lot of fun. It's a great adventure.
Now, since you've been in Nashville, you know that there have been some A&R people from labels at your shows. How does that feel?
That's kind of surreal. That's kind of crazy. And I had some really lovely comments from a couple there the other night, actually. Just to be able to be in a town where something like that happens and there is an A&R sitting in your show, where does that happen? It's kind of like it's one of those places, I hate to say it, but it's so cool. I've been here for about 2 weeks and that happens.
You played, Martin Guitars helped you out with your guitar getting here.
That's been so incredible. They decided to get behind me and endorse me with a guitar when I got here. Because I couldn't bring mine with me. I hate playing with guitars because I've had so much bad luck with that. No, it's always ended poorly. And of course, I'm super attached to my little guitar. It's like my little baby. I take it with me everywhere. And so when I found out I was coming here, I thought, oh, this is great. And then Martin said that they'd give me a little guy. So when I was here, I got a little one.
So you played the Martin Guitar stage during CMA?
They had me as their feature artist every day of the CMA, which is crazy. So we shut down the stage while we was there. And they were just the nicest guys, just the nicest people. It was just a total family situation, and I love it. It's great. It's great.
You want to do another song for us?
I can, yeah. Well, I'll tell you a little bit about the next song that I'm going to do. When I found out that I was coming over here to play the CMA Fest, which was kind of I danced around the house for about 3 days because I was so excited when I found out about that. So, preceding that and finally calming down a little bit, I decided to write a song about coming to Nashville. And since I've been here and since we've been here, just playing that to the people here, it's more than I could ask for. So I'll play that next.
Cool. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
You're watching the Nashville Access Facebook show with me and my guest Zoe and the band.
Here we go.
Come on back over.
Thank you.
What a song.
Oh, thank you.
It's not everybody that writes a song in preparation of coming over here. So,
I kind of write about everything.
what would happen if you couldn't do music anymore?
I'd probably shrivel up in a corner somewhere and just die unhappily. It's kind of, I don't know, it's life for me. I do it every single day. If I'm not making it or playing it or, you know, I'm writing to people, I'm networking with people, I'm talking with people, I'm building, you know, whatever I can build out of whatever time I have it. There's not a day that goes by that I don't do something. And if I stop, I feel really kind of like, I feel like I'm not doing what I should be doing. I've got this thing inside that just has to happen.
That can be tough to deal with sometimes.
It can be. Especially when you want to take a break from it, you know, you can't really shut the phone off or shut the music out because it's there with you all the time. But it's great because I just love to build new things and, you know, constantly writing. So that song and the last one that I played, Growing Up is kind of like, it's something you never really want to do. I've got to that point, I think, where you sort of, birthdays aren't that kind of cool anymore, you know, it's kind of like, it's a bit
you're ancient.
It's just the back, you know, it's like, it's age, it's terrible, it's terrible, but growing up, you just don't really want to do it, you know, you have to grow old, I guess, but you don't have to grow up, so.
I'll go with that.
But.
When you make it, who do you want to open for you?
Okay, that's a question I've never been asked. Wow. I don't even know where to start, there are so many incredible. This is a good question. Not that I would ever, no, I couldn't, okay, this particular person I'm having in mind, I couldn't actually ever have them open for me, but if I could ever open for them, I would be the happiest person ever.
That's not the
It's
question.
terrible.
Who would you like to open for you?
Oh, this is a really tough one, because whatever I say here is gonna, they may have the chance of someday hearing it.
That's why I asked the question.
It's terrible. You're a terrible person. I'm just going over so many incredible people. Rod Stewart's the first person that comes to my head, but I can't have Rod Stewart open for me. It'd be so bad. I'd have to support him. I don't know. That's a really tough question. I think if anybody actually was wanting to ever open for me, that'd be the coolest thing. I've had a few people open for me. That's not fair to say. I've had a few people open for me, and they've been fantastic. But as far as going on tour with somebody, I think Rod Stewart would be one of the best. He's kind of like always been an idol of mine. And I don't know, he's done, I mean, as you talk about there with music and styles and stuff, his style is kind of so diverse and so broad. He kind of is his own genre in that sense, you know. He can kind of do everything, and I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah. What's your favorite Rod Stewart song?
Oh gosh, you're just coming out with the hardest questions today. I always loved Mandolin Wind. I've always loved Maggie May, Sailing.
Yeah.
There's too many. There's just so many. Any Rod Stewart song will do me good. I'm happy.
What are the plans when you've still got some time left? You're here in Nashville till Sunday. Now, where are you playing Sunday? I
have a show out at the Belcourt Taps, 6 p.m. If anybody wants to come out for Father's Day, we'll play them some songs. But yeah, that's the last show. That's the farewell show before we go back to the UK.
But then you're going up to New York.
Then we're going up to New York, yeah. We've been asked to go and record on vinyl, which is super cool.
Record on vinyl.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So like one of those things I've always wanted to do since I started doing music was to record on vinyl. So that's kind of like people just order the song that they want. We go in the room, record it live there and then, and it gets pressed straight to the vinyl in the next room, and then that gets sent directly to the person. There's never a single copy that's made like it, so it's totally unique and like it's really cool.
That's amazing. They can find out more about that on your socials. Right?
Yeah, or on the website www.zoe.uk.
Cool. So when you get back to the UK, what's going on? What do you got?
Got to pick up the UK tour when I get back. So first things first. Literally after we fly in on the 21st, and then on the 22nd, we're in Birmingham doing a show for a festival. So that's going to be a lot of fun.
You really crammed the stuff in because before you flew out, you did a show at a festival in London.
It was the Country in the Afternoon Festival, and that was in the Half Moon in
Putney.
It's
Putney.
I say it wrong every
You
single
always go
time.
for Putney, but
It's
no, it's Putney.
I'm terrible. I get in so much trouble for my accent over in the UK. It's really bad.
And you get called convict all the time.
Yeah, well, my son might do. Yeah, I don't know what to do with those people. Tie them up out the back or something.
But you played Putney in the afternoon, and then you caught a flight.
Literally, we was running off the stage, packing our stuff in our guitar bags and that, changing our clothes on the drive to Heathrow to get the flight because it was within about an hour we had to get to the airport to get through security and all that stuff. So it was kind of rushed. It was cool though. It was really cool. We had people on the way out. It was like, please sign this, please do this, and we're like, I can't, we gotta go. You know, it was kind of crazy. But I love it. I love the speed of things, and that's a lot of fun. You know, and connecting with people in so many places is just the coolest thing ever.
The name is Zoee, that's Z or Z, O-E-E, and the Facebook is Zoee Official.
All platforms will be Zoee Official.
And the website is
www.zoe.uk. .uk.
All right, cool. Thanks for being on the show today.
Thank you for having us.
It's great having you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
We'll have to have you back again sometime. And we do have to introduce something that we're going to be doing. We haven't talked about this today.
Oh dear.
When Zoee gets back to the UK, she will be a Nashville Access UK correspondent. So she'll be able to interview people and places and things just like we do here. So you'll be able to watch for that.
And make sure you drop me a message if anybody wants to jump on the show. We'll do something. That'll be good.
Cool. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure having you.
Vice versa. It's fun. Nice being here.
Make sure you connect with her, Zoee Official, and enjoy her music. There are big things coming from this woman. Thanks for watching the Nashville Access Facebook show with Camo, presented by Solus North Gulch Apartments. Don't forget to catch me every Saturday afternoon from 3 till 7 on Hippie Radio 94.5 here in Nashville. Every Sunday at midday on Chris Country all across the UK. And every Thursday morning with Jody Crosby and John Wolfe on 88.9 Tamworth Radio. We'll see you next time.